About ready to hop on that plane, Griffin?
Not quite. Just grabbed my usual coffee from the airport cafe.
Griffin, you and your flights would be incomplete without coffee, huh? Doesn't it make it harder to catch some shut-eye on the plane?
Without coffee, I don't get that time to conquer the world feeling. It's just part of my groove now.
What's your pick for today?
The new strawberry frappuccino.
Aw, that sounds scrumptious.
And, of course, an Americano.
You'll be making quite a few bathroom runs on the plane with all that liquid.
Well, it gives me an excuse to stretch my legs on the plane. Otherwise, you just end up glued to your seat and your legs start to balloon. But listen, I do want to apologize for yet another week-long business trip. I hate the idea of leaving you feeling lonesome, Maggie.
We've been doing this dance since before we tied the knot, so I guess I'm kind of used to it. And I've got pals to keep me company. As a full-time homemaker, I'm surprisingly having a blast. I feel kind of guilty that you'll let me do whatever I want.
As long as you're loving your life, Maggie, I'm a happy man. I do take pride in being able to provide a good living. There's no need for you to break your back working.
Hey, I appreciate that.
Oh, and if you ever feel the itch to join the workforce again, you're more than welcome to, okay? Might be a fun change of pace. But you seem to be enjoying yourself just fine. So maybe there's no rush?
Exactly. I'm content with the way things are.
I'm glad to hear that.
I'd be lying if I said I didn't miss you during these frequent trips. But I also want you to thrive in your career, Griffin. Please, don't ever feel like you're letting me down, okay?
Your understanding means the world to me. And remember, if there's something you want to do, I'm your biggest cheerleader, okay? Just give me a shout anytime.
For now, my sewing hobby is plenty. Griffin, I know the grind of constant travel can be rough. Hang in there. Don't push yourself too hard, alright?
You bet. I'll watch myself.
When you're back, there'll be some hearty homemade meals waiting for you. Just drop me a line when you have a solid ETA.
Got it. Alright, I'm off.
Safe journey.
This time around, things wrapped up sooner than expected, so I got to head back home a bit early. Thought I'd surprise Maggie by coming home unannounced. But 4 days later... Hey, Maggie? What's going on with you right now?
Hey, Griffin. What's up with you? Feeling homesick already? I'm just chilling at home watching some TV.
Hold up. You're watching TV at our place?
Yup. But I'm multitasking with some chores too. Don't worry.
Really? So what chores are you working on?
Right now, I'm busy hanging the laundry. Once that's done, I suppose cleaning's up next. You seem unusually curious though. What's up with you, Griffin? You're being a little off.
This is our home we're talking about, right?
What do you mean? Of course it's our home. Our dream house that we bought brand new last year, remember?
So you're in the living room, glued to the TV?
Yes, but you're acting strange all of a sudden, Griffin. Are you burned out from work?
Well, I just got home.
Wait, when you say home, you mean our place?
Yes, our place.
Hold on. You're messing with me, right?
No, really. I came home and it looked like you weren't around, so I thought I'd check where you were and texted you.
How did your business trip end up?
It wrapped up earlier than I expected, so they told me I could just head home. so I'm here.
Why didn't you let me know? You always tell me you'll let me know when you're on your way home.
Thought I'd surprise you.
I'm not into surprises like that.
Anyway, where are you really, Maggie? You weren't actually doing housework, were you?
Well, I'm actually out with friends.
Why did you lie?
You're out there busting your hump on a business trip, and here I am, a stay-at-home wife. I felt bad messing around with friends while I should be doing housework, so I lied. I'm really sorry.
I've always told you, Maggie, do what makes you happy. You don't need to stress over things like that. Being lied to, though, that's what stings.
You're right. I apologize. I feel awful since you've just gotten back. But I'm actually a good distance away with a friend's car, so I might be late getting back.
I see. I made it home earlier than usual, so I thought we could hit the town for a nice meal. Too bad.
I'm sorry. Oh, since your business trip ended early, what's your plan from tomorrow?
They told me I could take the rest of the time off.
Then you got a bit of a downtime. In that case, let's go grab a bite at some nice place tomorrow.
Sounds like a plan.
You must be jet-lagged. How about you hit the hay first?
No. I'll catch a short nap and I'll be waiting for you to get home tonight.
But I think I'll be super late.
You're not going to roll in at 2 or 3 in the morning, right?
If the traffic is gnarly, it might be.
Wait. How far did you go?
We took a 3-hour road trip to the beach. Just felt like we needed a beach day.
Is your friend a girl?
Of course. Who else would they be?
Then you should try to get home earlier. It's not safe.
Yeah, I'll do my best to get back as early as I can.
Text me when you know what time we'll be home. I'd like to say hello to your friends too.
Why?
Seeing as you don't have a license, Maggie, I'm guessing your friend has been doing all the driving, right? I have to thank them.
Don't worry about it. My friend's a bit of an introvert. She really enjoys driving, so it's no big deal.
Is this a different friend from the one who attended our wedding?
Yup, it's a different friend. Met her recently through a shared hobby.
Gotcha. Well, just be sure to head back home before it gets too late.
Yes, sir.
Given that my overseas trips usually span about a week, I took some time to look into what Maggie was up to during my absences. Shockingly, I didn't like what I found. That's when I decided I needed a plan. A month later, Maggie, it turns out I have to jet off on a business trip tomorrow.
Seriously? Tomorrow? That's quite a curveball, isn't it?
There's an urgent need for a specific product for an upcoming event, so they want me to fly out ASAP.
They sure know how to put the pressure on, huh? Well, you'll need to pack your passport. And which bag will you be using this time? I'll put it out while I'm cleaning.
That's alright. I got everything sorted when I get back home.
You sure? In that case, although it's not our last supper or anything, let's have a hearty dinner tonight.
Last supper, huh? Sounds a bit ominous.
Do you fancy fish or meat?
I'd go for meat, I reckon.
Alright, I'll swing by the supermarket today and pick up some quality meat. Can you let me know when you figure out what time you'll be back?
You got it. The next day. Maggie, what are you up to?
I'm just at home scrubbing the bathtub. It's gotten a little grimy because I've been slacking on it.
By home, you mean our home, right?
Oh, not this again. Of course, it's our home. And yes, I am really at home this time.
Yeah, you do seem to be at home, alright? But, hold on. It doesn't seem like you're alone. Who's with you?
Who? Wait. Griffin, where are you right now?
I'm at home.
Are you kidding me? Weren't you supposed to be on an overseas trip?
The business trip today was just a day trip. So I'm already back home. There's a pair of men's shoes that aren't mine at the entrance. And an unfamiliar bag in the living room. Whose are they?
Wait, you're really at home? Did you just turn on the TV?
Yeah, I did. It's been a while since I've caught a talk show at this time. So, who's at our place with you? Maggie?
This guy? He's a salesman.
A salesman? Do you really think I'm clueless?
What? What do you mean you're not clueless? I haven't done anything wrong. By the way, Griffin, you're supposed to tell me when you're coming home. I always remind you of that.
That wasn't so you could time the meals right. But so you could send your supposed lover away before I got home.
What are you even talking about? I'm not having an affair.
How can you actually think I'm clueless given this condition?
How can you accuse me without any proof? It's outrageous. You've really let me down.
While I was out there hustling overseas, you were cheating on me. I'm disappointed. And the fact that I didn't notice the affair for 3 years? That's on me too.
Wait, 3 years? How did you know?
Of course I know. I did some digging. You remember that day I came home early from work? And you weren't there? You came back late that night.
I told you, I'd been hanging out at the beach with a girlfriend.
But it was with that guy, wasn't it?
No proof of that, right?
Granted, there's no solid proof, but something didn't sit right with me. Maggie, you're usually a homebody. And remember before we tied the knot? I invited you to the beach, and you told me you were scared of the sea after being stung by a jellyfish.
Sure, tastes can change.
You may have a point there, but it got me wondering. So, I ended up hiring a private investigator to see if you were playing around.
That's so harsh. So you're saying you couldn't trust your own wife?
Whether I trusted you or not doesn't really matter now. You were having an affair after all.
I'm sorry.
Finally, an apology. Anyway, let's move this to the living room. I'd like to have a proper discussion, with your friend involved too.
There's nothing to discuss.
What are you talking about? We need to discuss the divorce, alimony claims from both sides, and how our savings have taken a hit.
Divorce? And you knew about the savings?
When I first suspected you were fooling around, I checked our savings. I guess I was too trusting to let you handle all the money stuff. Even after buying this place brand new, our bank account is looking pretty thin. What did you use it for?
I had various needs.
If you don't come clean, things will just get messier.
He wanted a car, so I bought one.
Wait, the car you drove to the beach was bought with my hard-earned cash?
I'm sorry. I thought we could save it up again soon.
Look, I don't mind you using the money I make for living expenses, or your hobbies. I know that my earnings are possible because you're at home keeping things running. But buying a car for another man is a whole other ballgame, don't you think?
I'm sorry, Griffin, but I don't want a divorce.
If you liked him enough to carry on an affair for 3 years and even buy a car, why don't you just start fresh with him?
He's got a wife too. So this was just a casual fling.
Seriously? Then let's get his wife in on this conversation. Tell him to give me her contact details.
You can't do that. She's already caught us once. If she catches us again, he'll end up divorced, and I'll have to pay more alimony than before.
Wait, what? Are you kidding me? Maggie, you've been keeping this from me. And about the alimony, don't tell me you paid it with the money I made.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I've learned my lesson.
Yeah, right. A person who's truly sorry wouldn't repeat their mistakes. I've only traced our financial transactions over the past year. But when did you get busted and pay alimony?
About 2 years ago.
Oh, right. That time when you wanted to splurge on a fancy spa membership?
Please, Griffin, let's not rush to divorce. I'll end things with him. I swear. I promise. No more affairs.
But come on, really? I bet you made the same promises to his wife 2 years ago. And yet, here you are still cheating. I've already looped in a lawyer and given your folks a heads up. We need to have a group chat.
No, I'm sorry.
But divorce is a done deal, and you're going to have to repay that money. And yes, I'll be asking for alimony.
But I can't. I'm just a housewife.
And, regardless of being a housewife, you've got some making up to do. I won't stand for excuses like, "It's fine, I'm a housewife," or "No alimony needed, I'm a housewife."
Please, Griffin, think it over.
For now, get out here in the living room. Your apologies and plays and texts are falling on deaf ears.
If I come out, will you forgive me?
You still don't seem to understand. This is about forgiveness. Your parents are on their way, so get a move on.
That doorbell. They're here already?
No, that's the lawyer. But your folks will be here any minute.
I don't want to face the lawyers or my parents.
Just come out already. And don't forget to bring your boyfriend. If not, I'll pay him a visit and bring his wife back here. I didn't know he was married, but I do know where he lives.
I'm really sorry, Griffin. Please don't do that.
Then, hustle on out here. My patience is running thin. Afterwards, when the lawyer came in, they both walked out looking like they'd seen a ghost. I brushed past their groveling and led the lawyer into the living room. Eventually, I called over the lover's wife, and we all sat down for a chat once everyone had arrived. My wife ended up moving back in with her parents. As for the lover, he's getting a divorce too. And now, both Maggie and he are bustling their chops every day to pay off the alimony. I've sold the house and moved elsewhere. Given that my work keeps me traveling a lot, I guess I will be enjoying the bachelor life for a while.